like you don't care that we're leading something bad. And in the water I see cold reflections of what's really there. I'm not waiting, no, our time has come. We're fighting empires and I want to feel the fire again. It's not easy to love when the world is numb. We're fighting empires and we're gonna feel the fire again.
Welcome to the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. Tonight you are joining us for ECAC Collegiate Overwatch, and within the Swiss bracket of the ECAC, Boise State, Bay State, S.C.A.D, that's the Savannah College of Art and Design, and Minnesota are the big four names looking to take each other down in game. And wouldn't you know it, we have two of those names here tonight, Boise State and S.C.A.D. So this is going to be a really good fight. You're not going to want to miss this one. These are some of the top teams in collegiate Overwatch. I'm your host, Jacob Jem Palmer, joined by Gray Old Soul Smith. And we actually received a bit of interesting information at the beginning. We are going to be starting on Assault on Temple of Anubis. So it's normally a mode that we don't see kind of right off the bat, but I kind of like it. It's kind of ripping off the Band-Aid, if you will, as not a lot of people really like the Assault stage.
Sure, I hear that. Get into the good stuff right when we can.
Well, let's take a look overall at how this is going to work out. As we can see there, Temple of Anubis, the kind of the main stage for Assault that most teams choose instead of Hanamura or Volskaya. We're going to see how everything shakes out here. It's 6v6 and a best of 5. Normally, that's kind of the normal map mode that you see there, but we're starting off on Assault here, so it's going to be interesting to see how this one turns out. We can also take a look at the opening lineup brought to you by Count Identity Trust Global Network. The opening lineup, some of the top talent here, Matt Merkel, Maxwell, Plato, Chosen, and Bagel. Brought to you by Count Identity Trust Global Network, delivering real-time fraud prevention, account protection, and enables personalized customer experiences, more than 9,000 leading brands and payment providers. It's top talent going up against top talent. S.C.A.D is a very tough team, but they do have some advice. You can see if you were looking back there, you saw Doc on stage coaching them, and no doubt reminding them of Doc's keys to the game in Overwatch, and that's never to take a fair fight. That means to take fights in unexpected places when your opponents are unprepared and when you can have tempo advantages. Doc's keys to the game brought to you by Drop-In Gaming, the premier online platform for gamers who seek competition. Play your favorite games to win cash and prizes through free and paid entry matches and tournaments. Whether you're new to the scene or a seasoned veteran, Drop-In Gaming has the right games and competition for you. We're just about ready to head into the first match here of Boise State versus S.C.A.D, the Savannah College of Art and Design. Broncos are going to be looking to avoid the sting of S.C.A.D, if you will, as they play first on Temple of Anubis. And here we go. It'll be interesting to see which team decided to defend and attack first. Temple of Anubis, it's an Assault map first and foremost, and so just like any 2CP map, it's always prone to snowballing, but I think a lot of players, you know, the defense team, the second point is very hard to take all in one go because of the respawn advantage, so that's probably why just a lot of people choose it, just so it isn't complete, you know, a complete snowball for each side attacking and be going to overtime 4 minutes apiece. So Temple of Anubis puts the brakes on that a little bit. Well, here we go. The attacking team is ready to head out of their attack mobile. Now we're trying to push through the choke point, which Boise State defending is going to be holding down. As you can see, Plato peppering some shots down with Ash here. Goblin also has gone and onto the Torb here. course, Baratel's favorite when he's not here casting Overwatch. The first day he's not here, Boise State brings it out. So, of course, that's just how it works out. Right now, Savannah trying to take the side route here. Boise State is just grouping them all up and trying to push so much damage into such a narrow point here. Snape biking about half health now, but it's going to drop the amp matrix, force Boise State to take some different sidelines here, as so much damage is going to be pushed through here. Boise State pushes down their own amp matrix. So right now, just some utility is getting gotten rid of by S.C.A.D. Getting the high ground here is going to be using their gravitic flux as well. The only thing Boise State has to show for it is one elimination from Goblin. The rest pretty solidly in favor of S.C.A.D, who looks like they've gotten their first point. That's actually a team kill, too.
First ult can get you the first team kill. Looking at these ult charges now are on a little bit of the back foot, but we're definitely ready to come into this next one.
Well, the good thing is Savannah, S.C.A.D is not going to have any of those ultimates to use here.
Nope.
So Boise State can use this time to kind of charge up some of their ultimates. S.C.A.D is probably going to want to take this just one tick at a time, just chip away at it a little bit, much like the hieroglyphs on the walls. You just chip away a little bit until you get what you're after, as Plato has charged Bob up, going to be ready to use him to push Boise State to a slight person advantage. Mattmark going to throw down the shields, throw out a Hulk, doesn't pick anyone up. The Hulk, meanwhile, from S.C.A.D picks a lot of people up. Boise State's going to throw out Bob as Goblin uses this molten core, and S.C.A.D just goes right into Boise State's own spawn. Fleeing, but they're finding a way to survive. Lilith eliminated by a Goblin. There heads down another amp matrix. Mattmark is going to throw down their own supercharger though, so some damage boost for both teams. And S.C.A.D, by going into Boise State's own spawn, found a way to take the point. I wouldn't have believed it if I hadn't saw it, but there you go.
Well, if the shoe fits, you got to take whatever's safe.
If the shoe fits, that's indeed Boise State though. Now that S.C.A.D has planted down, we'll need a shoehorn to pry S.C.A.D away from the point. And they just barely do. As Goblin takes out their Brig, as Bagel also eliminates Lilith. Lilith throwing out that Dragon Strike, though, is going to eliminate Plato. Kel also taking care of Donnie. Boise State just barely wrestling the point away, and that's where the respawn advantage comes in handy, as Boise State stops S.C.A.D from their third tick.
Whew. Man, yeah, right at 96.3.
Now Boise State having to kind of just stage a hero's defense here. Doesn't want to give any ground over to S.C.A.D. The good news is that basically at this point S.C.A.D is far away from their ulti charge. And Kel is going to have this gravitic flux much sooner than S.C.A.D is going to have theirs. So S.C.A.D's going to take the same route they did last time, so they're going to kind of be closed in. And there goes Plato with a great pick onto Alone. They're going to try to flank Boise State from behind here, try to move on to the point. Can they do it? Boise State throws out the Hulk to bring out the BAP, and they're also going to throw out the gravitic flux. How many is it going to capture? Kel also taking out Donnie. Boise State is just kind of going to go in and brawl and maul them, taking them out one at a time. There goes 3 from S.C.A.D and Boise State. S.C.A.D had about 5 minutes heading into this. They've now burned off 2.
Whew. Excellent play. Goblin and Kel just taking turns, taking people out there.
Now Goblin just kind of waiting for a sneaky flank here. Plato actually has a pulse bomb also waiting. Now S.C.A.D has managed to charge up both of their support ultimates. There goes the pulse bomb. It takes the Sigma very low, and Plato's going to be able to finish him off, but Lilith is getting rid of Goblin, actually taking a double there. That's a great play. Lilith, wow. Lilith being a very key player for S.C.A.D here. And there goes an accretion, is going to take out Plato. Bagel answers that back though by eliminating Snape. There goes another meteor strike there by Goblin, but the gravitic flux is going to eliminate Bagel and Chosen. Boise State on the back foot, and I think S.C.A.D is going to be able to get their final tick here as they take out Boise State's supercharger. No one left on the point. Actually, 2 are still managing. Plato is stalling this out for the Broncos as the rally is used, but it's not enough for Boise State to stop S.C.A.D from getting 2 points. And that's going to be 0-2, and I'm going to take a replay at how this all unfolded here. Boise State basically had to hold with no ultimates. The only thing they had was this pulse bomb, which this was a great play by Plato, just finding the Sigma out all by himself, and that pulse bomb just erasing his health bar. But overall, it wasn't enough to stop the onslaught from S.C.A.D. They're going to be the ones defending now.
It was close there at the end. It looked like rotation was coming in, and Plato stalled for quite a while, but just could not hold on that. His odds were down.
Yeah. I just got to say, Lilith is quite a DPS.
Yeah, it really did. It looked like his name was all over the board.
It's great to see you, Lilith. Where's Frazier? That's a little 90s, 2000s sitcom reference for you, for those of you in the know.
Frazier Crane's spin-off of Cheers.
Moving over. Coming to you from the wilds of Egypt, this is Dr. Frazier Crane. Okay, I'm glad to see that you're a person of culture as well.
I'm in the know. I watched MASH. I watched all the good 90s films.
Yeah. Alrighty, though. As we're ready to head into Boise State's attack here, they're going to have to match quite a pace that S.C.A.D set up for themselves. Good news is this first point is a bit easier to take than the second one. They might be using the Lucio speed boost to just try to push through here, as Plato has brought out the Reaper for some close range brawling to try to tear through their shields. But that's a great pick initially on the Chosen. That basically stalls Boise State out for a good 10-15 seconds.
Ooh. Chosen back up, ready to move through that point.
They're just exchanging some fire through this choke point. Look out for Goblin, though. Where was that flank brought out? He just takes out Donnie with that hack, and Boise State is now on the move, moving towards the first point there, getting an early advantage. Can they take it, though? They're on their way to their first stick, forcing S.C.A.D to turn around. Where are you, Plato? Where is your flank going to go? Look at S.C.A.D pushed all the way back up to the second half of this map. 3 of their members aren't even to make it to the point. Unfortunately, he's going to have to fight alone in air, but is able to take the Echo out of the air. Boise State now back onto their own point. Plato's going to follow them. And is there going to be a recontest by S.C.A.D, or are they going to let him have it? Looks like they let him have it.
Ooh. A clean sweep of the first point.
And now it's, we were impressed by S.C.A.D having 5 minutes. Boise State has closer to 6 minutes now. This is exactly the pace they want to set for themselves. Where is Goblin, though? You want to watch him with these flanks, though.
Yeah.
Here we go. There goes Coalescence thrown out. Going to tear right through their immortality field. Boise State's just moving on right here, but Bagel's the first one eliminated. The Supercharger is taken out from Savannah College of Art and Design. There goes self-destruct, and it picks up Goblin, who finds himself in a bad position. Kella's also going to be eliminated. Boise State, they're fighting very hard right now, but they cannot wrestle the first tick away from S.C.A.D.
Love that Moira aggression. Really set up the bounds for this, taking that site there.
Well, they almost got their first tick there, but now S.C.A.D has set themselves up, but with a slight ultimate advantage. But the one thing that can even that out is the EMP, which is just on the line from Goblin.
And Goblin's got plenty of time to use it. He's snuck all the way backside. See how he plays it out.
That can really mess with the other team. Remember, this is a game that the abilities come into play. This is not CSGO, but Boise State can force S.C.A.D to play CSGO with this EMP if it hits everybody. Just going to see how it works out. They're going to take the same route that S.C.A.D took, or at least Goblin is, to try to flank them, find this EMP. It's going to land onto 2 of them, Lilith and their Reinhardt. Overall, there goes the Primal Rage as well as Dragon Strike thrown out by S.C.A.D. Eliminations being traded. There goes the Death Blossom out from Plato, is going to pick up one, as well as the Primal Rage eliminating their Brick. There's only one left. It is alone, standing alone on the point. He's going to be taken out. That's 1 tick for Boise State. I think they can pick up 2. I don't think they can pick up all 3, though, because there's going to be the recontest from Savannah College of Art and Design unless they can mow them down. But the Sound Boost is going to give Boise State the extra survivability. Goblin with the elimination onto Lilith. Boise State might have just done it here. We're just going to have to see. The hack going out on to their Reinhardt. There goes the copy out from Alone. They're going to have to stop the self-destruct because that could just clear out the point. And the hack onto Alone is taking them out of the mech, forces the copy to be canceled. And Boise State is having such a good push here onto the point. There's just one member left from S.C.A.D. who's defending it. Now 2 onto the point, mowed down by Kel. Now where's the next one? There's the amplification matrix thrown out by S.C.A.D, but they're going to throw out the EMP, which is charged by Goblin again, as well as the Death Blossom. Boise State is on a killing streak and takes it all in one go, putting themselves up at better time for overtime.
A killing streak to be sure. 10 kills, that's 2 team kills, just 1 at a time.
And a shout out to the audience that has just joined us, giving a bit of applause to the Broncos. We know the Broncos love hearing encouragement, and this is a time when they need it the most, because we're heading into overtime. Boise State, the slight lead here, but still, it's not out of the realm of possibility for S.C.A.D. This was just insane. This fight lasted so long, it allowed Goblin and Plato to charge up their ultimates all in one go again.
Well, you see these long team fights when you're so close to the spawn, and when you're dealing with such high-level play. These are 2 really high-ranked teams.
Whew. That was quite a fight there.
Let's take a fly around the temple.
It is not often that you see in one team fight all 3 ticks gotten on Anubis.
Well, it was a strong hold. They were.
Oh, and I like this pick from Boise State that I see being brought out here. I see the silhouette of the Junkrat, and once Junkrat's brought out on Anubis, that shuts down, well, if you're attacking it, shuts down the entire left route for you. Going through those narrow hallways can be a death sentence with all those bombs being placed on you. So basically just shutting off one of the routes entirely could be great for Boise State. They just want to stall out as long as they can here.
And that Junkrat, if I'm not mistaken, if I read the stats right, does mean that we have got Joey playing on that, Goblin playing the Junkrat.
I believe so. There's 1 to 2 possible DPS players, so you're 50% right. And yes, it is going to be Gob. Plato also still on the Ash as one of those great long-range heroes. And this is a risky proposition from S.C.A.D here, because here goes the bombs. This is not going to be good. Okay, yeah, they get the better idea. They run away from the Junkrat, because those hallways, those bombs, you do not want to mess with them, especially since they're on the Echo. Echo is an airborne hero, is great against the Junkrat. You don't want to take that advantage away. Speaking of which, that is going to force more pressure onto Plato now on this DPS, because he's the only one that can really take this Echo Mercy Pocket out of the air. They're going to charge up their amp matrix. Boise State now kind of being pushed indoors themselves back toward that hallway. There goes that Echo Mercy Goblin. Look at where Goblin is. Look at that angle.
Ooh, Matt Merkel and Chosen Wall taking a lot of damage there, but they've got it back up almost. Plato out for the count, down by Alone and Chiz.
Well, Cal, look at this. Managed to get 1 onto their Bastion. Oh, look at this. You can't afford the bombs there, but they have a shield placed down, so he's just going to work out the lineup there.
Bagel taking him left and right, backed up by Chosen.
This could be a great hold by Boise State. If they only hold S.C.A.D to just 1 tick, that pushes overtime way back in their favor.
Sure
we also see Goblin has this. Oh, look at that. Takes out Snape again, and he's going to have this Riptire. Here it goes. Who's it going to pick up? Does it get caught out by their team? No, it doesn't. He takes out Alone in the air. Who says Junkrat can't take out airborne heroes? The Riptile will take care of that. And now this Mercy is running for cover as Boise State is in hot pursuit. Going to try to take them down. They have used the Valkyrie, though, so they can fly around onto the point and try still to stall this out. But Bagel eliminating their tank, and they're not going to have the Supercharger available for them. There goes the Mercy mode down. Overtime is ticking down. Will one member of S.C.A.D be able to touch the point? No, they don't. And Boise State holds them to less than the first full point taken. Woo. So now Boise State only needs to just take a little bit more than S.C.A.D did in 3 minutes, and I think that's very doable here.
They have been the professionals of defense there, grabbing the point and then absolutely staking it out. How do you think they'll do on offense now that they've got to take some?
Ooh, I think they'll just go for a very quick hold. Of course, I just love this seeing a hero that just any airborne hero. It was originally the Pharah that the Junkrat struggled against because you're using projectiles. It's very hard to aim in mid-air with projectiles, and now the Echo could take to air, and Junkrat is just having more difficult time. But the one way is if you sneak up on them on a Riptire, and that just brings me so joy. Because Junkrat's actually my favorite hero to play in Overwatch. So I know the struggle of having to deal with an aerial hero if you just To put it, you know, you're coming back more from a Valorant background. You know, it feels like you're going up against an op with a shorty. I mean, you know what I mean? That's just, you're feeling the pain there.
I can hear cheering for your favorite player just in general. I was so happy when Omen came back into the meta.
Yeah, everyone just has their favorite characters, and so you love to see them kind of pop off. And we're going to have some new characters joining pretty soon because Overwatch 2 beta is going to be upon us very soon.
Very soon.
New maps and a new hero sojourn. It's going to be great to have some new content. Right now, Boise State, what they want right now is to make kind of a last-minute statement on Assault, a mode that is on its way out. Boise State, probably not too many tears going to be shed for Assault on its way out, but they do want their win here nonetheless. And look at this, where Boise State, look at that! Who is on the point? Who? I was going to say it looked like a Hanzo, but Boise State doesn't have a Hanzo. That might have been chosen. I don't know, but Boise State was just going for a sneaky take there right off the bat. Now they're going to move in as a team. They already get a little bit of charge on that point, but Donnie eliminating Goblin and Matt Merck. So they try to take out this Orisa, but looks like they're unable to, and I think Boise State just has to realize they have the time advantage here. They can't get too careless and start allowing staggers. So I like that. They kind of all died as a team.
Yep.
And Plato find a way to survive, though. Oh, look out here, though. He's going to have to deal with this Echo. That is not a stagger that Boise State wants, so hopefully... Oh. No, they're not able to get to him, and that's a crucial mistake by the Broncos. They're going to have to wait even more and have more time burned off.
Oh.
Well, overall, it looks to me like S.C.A.D has a slight advantage in ultimate charge here.
Yeah, I think so. We're holding on to some time, though.
Speaking of ultimates, Coalescence just went online for Chosen.
We've seen that really open up territory before.
Oh, look at that Hulk Gravitic Flux combo. It catches a lot of the Broncos in that small room. Coalescence going to be thrown out for that healing. Everything's being used by S.C.A.D right now. Broncos are just falling one after the other. Look at Plato. He's eating it up. They managed to turn it around. My goodness. Bad Burke and Bagel with a pick themselves. If they can take S.C.A.D all out here and get onto the point. What a turn of events. He's just going to solo ult him right there. Okay, but the objective is more the objective is more valuable than kills here, though. Boise State still hasn't placed on the objective. Now that they've gotten everyone out of the way, there's just this Lucio, and the soldier just runs right into the Winston.
Don't get me wrong. Death blossoming someone in the corner is fun. And kills are fun, but win con is key, Boise State.
And they found it right there. Boise State winning that Assault match. So great job to the Broncos. Whew. That was, I'm going to need a breather out of that one. There was a lot of turnaround moments that I did not expect from the Broncos, but they've managed to find a way there.
Some excellent play from the Broncos.
And the best news of all is that we don't have to deal with Assault now. That mode is just gone. We've ripped off the Band-Aid. Now we get to the modes that everyone likes to play. So we'll have those coming up next, but I think we're going to take a short break and then be back with the next round, so you are not going to want to miss it. This is two very evenly matched teams. Boise State finds themselves with an early lead. We'll see if they can maintain it after this.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your Guard adventure.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Welcome back to the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. You're currently watching our coverage of ECAC Collegiate Overwatch, and Boise State is in a match with one of the toughest teams in the nation, S.C.A.D, the Savannah College of Art and Design. They currently in the first stage that we saw them, got the win over them in Assault, so now we are moving on to Control, which they have a lot of choices available to them. We'll have to see which one they choose. I'm your host, Jacob Jem Palmer, joined by Greg Olsel-Smith. We were talking just about the break of some of the stages that Boise State kind of prefers.
We were, yeah. They definitely prefer to be in that brawl composition, or at least more comfortable there, so I am expecting Legion.
Yeah, Legion has, it's mainly the tower there that we see more brawl comps be brought out, but the other two stages are pretty wide open. It's kind of a similar pattern that almost all the Control maps follow, is that they have normally one very tight and close stage, and the other ones have a lot more airborne. So it kind of tests when you have to win 2 out of 3 of the stages of the 3 map pools in Control, then you have to have a good range at all of the comps. Yep. But right now, let's take another look at how this tournament is shaping out, just the kind of general rules of everything. It is 6v6 competitive, best of 5. Normally we start out on the map order. You see there Control, Escort, Hybrid, Assault, but we started out on Assault today. So now we move on to Control, as that is right after Assault, and we'll see what stage is chosen. Normally the losing team, the team that lost the last round, chooses the next stage. So S.C.A.D is going to have the option here, might choose something that they're more comfortable with. We'll just have to see. We can also take another look at the lineup that Boise State is playing with, the players that we have for the Broncos. That's going to be Matt Merkel, Maxo, Plato, Chosen, and Bagel, all great players who can pop off at any moment. It's all brought to you by Count Identity Trust Global Network, delivering real-time fraud prevention, account protection, enables personalized customer experiences with one of the 9,000 leading brands and payment providers. Count.com, Count.com. We actually, it seems like it's just kind of one of those days where everything's kind of mixed up on us in terms of what game is brought out. But we will see what mode is actually brought out this time. We might see Escort or Hybrid. So we're actually going to see Escort next. So it's just kind of mixed up all over the place. But the one that we're doing is Rialto, which is interesting that that was the one that's chosen because Boise State actually has some really good play on Rialto. They love to hold the other team before the first checkpoint here. So we're just going to have to see how it works out. We're ready to hop into the next game. Boise State versus S.C.A.D, heading to Rialto in ECAC Collegiate Overwatch. Let's see how the Broncos do as we head into the action. And before we do so, we're actually going to be doing Doc's keys to the game, which is always nice to have something to remind you of before you jump in. And that's never to take a fair fight. That means to take fights in unexpected places when your opponents are unprepared and when you can leverage tempo advantages. Those are Doc's keys to the game, brought to you by Drop-In Gaming, the premier online platform for gamers who seek competition. You can play your favorite games to win cash and prizes through free and paid entry matches and tournaments. Whether you are new to the scene or a seasoned veteran, Drop-In Gaming has the right games and competition for you to begin your competitive gaming journey. Sign up at dropingaming.com. All right, here we go. We're going into Rialto in Overwatch. Those of you that don't know, this is a payload map, meaning one team is attacking, the other is defending, and you've got a payload. Once you get near that payload, it slowly moves its way over to the other team's goals. So as a defender, you're going to want to stop that payload from reaching the checkpoints and ultimately the end goal. So we're going to see which team is attacking and which team is defending first.
Yep.
Boise State, we did see, I wouldn't be surprised if they are defending, bringing out that Ash. Boise State is really good on kind of these long-range picks. They have some great damage, but Maxwell, it actually looks like it's going to bring out the Echo without the Mercy Pocket, which is an interesting, so it's not going to get that damage boost. So really going to test his ability to land these kills.
Yeah, we talked about map comfortability earlier. Is there anything you're looking for in specific from the Broncos?
Well, like I said, it's this first third of the map that the Broncos really like holding the other team out incompletely. So stopping S.C.A.D from getting to the first checkpoint entirely, the Broncos would just love that to end this in short order. And Maxwell is going to be on his way taking Donnie out of their map, but Kel is answered back. So some eliminations being traded between both teams. Boise State is going to have to give a little bit of ground, but here goes Matt on this Wrecking Ball, and the Wrecking Ball is great for Rialto because you can so effortlessly transition between these high ground options here. So Matt Merck, you're going to see a lot of verticality with him. He goes back to join his team for a little bit of healing because he was down to about 100 there.
Ooh. Playing the dangerous. We see not full health from all of our team members either, but they are picking away well at Donnie here.
Plato trying to get a flank here into the back line, and there goes Maxwell taking out Lilith. Plato, their pulse bomb is going to get eaten by the Amp Matrix, but still it's a slight advantage for the Broncos as they've gotten one pick, but it's quickly answered back by 2 from S.C.A.D. Now Boise State has to be defending here. They're right up to this first checkpoint. Going to be using the help of that Orb of Discord to try to burn down this Baptiste. He's still surviving. Actually, it's the Brig and the Baptiste that are surviving. They managed to heal back up. That's so frustrating, but Boise State is still trying to defend right now. Moving their way onto the point. Maxwell's going to bring out the copy, almost has his pulse bomb charged up, does have it, throws it out, and it's going to only take out the Immortality Field. But while they were fighting, S.C.A.D managed to push the payload forward enough to get to the checkpoint, get some more time, so Boise State is probably going to have to reset here.
Oh. Do you feel there's a snowball effect after this first point?
Payload really isn't as snowbally as the other stages, but there's always a little bit of a snowball in Overwatch just because, you know, like any competitive shooter, you know, you don't want to be feeding the other team, just giving them ult charge and everything. So just winning team fights one after the other is going to get you that slight advantage in ultimates regardless. There goes one of them. It's going to be the supercharger thrown out. There goes a minefield. There's nowhere you can walk in that building without running into a mine, and it's already going to take out their Brig. There goes self-destruct thrown out by Kel. Doesn't pick out anyone, and Lilith once again picking up a double, being the key DPS player for S.C.A.D right now. But Kel making a play with the Diva here. Kel, one of the top-ranked off-tanks in the nation, showing why he is a formidable foe. But right now, the elimination's more in favor of S.C.A.D as they are continuing to push their way up to the second checkpoint.
Wow, talk about not taking fair fights. That was some great plays where the other team was cornered in. Matt Merck with an excellent throw on the bombs there.
Yeah, that was a great placement of the bombs. Unfortunately, it just S.C.A.D was able to regroup. It seems like for every pick Boise State gets, S.C.A.D picks up 2 themselves, chosen. But an interesting play with the Transcendence, going to use it proactively to help Boise State move on to the point here, but it's Plato that's eliminated by Lilith.
Ooh, and Lilith is still holding on to that Deadeye.
Yeah, still has it available. Is now going to use it. Boise State has to get out of all of the sidelines of Lilith. And look at that. That Tracer is also pinching in Boise State from the rear, and it's going to take out Maxwell. Boise State, they just got to find a way to shut down these DPSs because they are proving to be way too much of a pain in the neck for the Broncos. That's going to be the last bit claimed by S.C.A.D. They move their way out of the second checkpoint. They're down to the final third. And overall, looking at how the ultimates are working out, Boise State is going to find themselves at a huge deficit here. They're ready to head in. The application matrix is thrown down. Plato's going to throw out their pulse bomb. Only gets rid of the immortality field there from S.C.A.D. Kel is being ready to be pushed out here. Oh, it's a Tracer Wrecking Ball battle. He got hit with the nano boost there, it looks like. Or no, actually just got a little bit more shield. It looks like he was hit by the nano boost. But Boise State isn't running it on us, so that wouldn't be an option. Lilith again. You just got to stop this Cassidy. That's just insane, picking up a triple against the Broncos. Boise State is only going to have one team fight left.
Great plays, Lilith, moving the ball forward. Donnie with the ult.
Already picking up Bagel there with that pulse bomb. There goes Plato, though, answering it back onto Alone, so both Tracers out of commission. Maxwell's going to use the copy on their Tracer. The Tumbleweed tells me that High Noon is out, but it isn't going to pick up anybody. only really going to stop Maxwell's copy, and there goes the self-destruct thrown out. Kill, well, where you got taken out by the self-destruct. The Transcendence of the last one is going to try to keep Boise State alive, but they are all spread out trying to flank Savannah College of Art and Design, but nothing they're throwing at them is stopping them. That is a take by S.C.A.D, and a very impressive one. 2 minutes, 50 seconds left in their overtime.
Ooh.
So I think the challenge is out now.
Yeah.
For either Goblin or Maxwell, you've got to match this Cassidy play by S.C.A.D, because, oh my goodness, their Cassidy is so insane. You saw here, you can see a little bit of the Broncos from everywhere here, but they're all trying to flank in S.C.A.D from one direction that they're going so many different angles that they're taking on everyone only one at a time.
Yeah, I can see overflanking to the point where you end up with a bunch of one-on-ones, and if your DPS has just got a good eye, a dead eye, then that could be difficult to deal with.
Alrighty, Boise State. Whew. But last time on Anubis, too. I mean, S.C.A.D had a great attack on Anubis, too, and Boise State managed to be faster, so it's all just going to have to be brought down to how the attack works out here. All right, Boise State going to be looking to head into the next fight here. We'll see what comp they decide to bring out. And while we do see... Okay, I see... It looks like we're going to be going with the double shield, Risen Sigma.
And Ash. Get a nice view of the rubble before everything begins.
Yep. Already knocking down all those guardrails preemptively.
Can't have those.
Don't want anything getting in the way of your potential shots there as Boise State moves on. They're going to try to throw out the halt there to bunch up S.C.A.D. Going to be given a lot of area right off the bat, and he's able to pick out their diva, Donnie, off to the side there. So Donnie is in fact called out. Plato thinking of maybe a flank route, but not going to commit to it quite yet. They're still just looking for their initial pick here. Ooh. This Tracer, this trying to flank Boise State from the back line.
Maxwell hungry for the kill here. Was able to take out the Immortality Field and tried to get the kill onto Cassidy there, but it did not happen. Lilith absolutely popping off. Takes another 2 alongside Alone with some extra assists there. Almost just resets Boise State's field.
Yeah, it's going to have to be a reset for Boise State. And look at this. Donnie getting right up in Boise State's own spawn, just pushing more damage onto them to try to get a little bit more ult percentage. Boise State looks like they're going to take this alternate route here over to the right, actually maybe split up for a split push here. We'll see how it works out. It's Donnie again taking that same position that he did last time with the Diva, followed by the Tracer. Ooh. They're able to turn around and mow down Donnie out of their mech.
And then take him down the rest of the way.
Yeah, he's just going to jump off to the side, actually. Boise State managed to push up to this choke point here. There goes the rally being brought out by their Brig, but they're going to still survive, and they also bring out the Superchargers. Chosen throws down the Amp Matrix. Bagel's also going to have their own rally available to them very soon here. Cal going very low on health, only has about 100 left.
Killed down Plato and Bagel out to follow him.
That's self-destruct.
What a strong play.
That's a team wipe. S.C.A.D holding strong here on Rialto.
Preventing that first point. How are we looking on time?
Ooh, it's not good for Boise State. I'll tell you that much right now. They're not meeting the pace that S.C.A.D set up for themselves.
We didn't see a lot of late payload delays from S.C.A.D either, so this has got to be true and true from here on.
Well, they're going to have the help of Bob here. They're going to move kind of across that sideline here. Plato going to try to find a good angle. And again, Donnie keeps taking the exact same route as this Diva here. So it's a question of how you can adjust to the other team and really punish their strategy.
Yep.
Boise State hasn't quite found a way to do that yet.
And in every competitive game, you've got to be able to read the players and make those acclamations.
All right, Bob is thrown out exclusively. Whoa,
wow.
Look, it just takes out their Brig.
Went right for him.
But that's going to be the only thing. They really just solo ulted onto one member of S.C.A.D. And meanwhile, S.C.A.D might be not able to defend here as Bagel gets one pick onto Lilith. It's quickly followed up with a huge dynamite thrown out by Plato. They're able to take Donnie out of his mech and take out their other tank as well. I think the Broncos have finally found what they needed here.
Ooh, let's hope so. Let's see if they can hold this point and keep it rolling.
They're going to get probably one more team fight out of S.C.A.D, unless that's a great pulse bomb thrown out to Lilith. That's who you want to eliminate there.
That is a huge, just big utility from that. And Maxwell is still hungry, going in for a second, trying for the third, securing that point. See if we can move forward onto that to point 2 on Flawless.
Yeah, Boise State finding a way to survive here. Ooh. I got to hand it to them. They found a way.
Maxwell and Bagel doing an excellent job.
The thing is that they're way behind. I mean, you see, even with the time boost that they got off that checkpoint, they're still behind S.C.A.D here.
And Chiz is coming in with an ult already, and our only ult to reply to that would be Bagel's rally.
Alone swaps over to the Tracer as Lilith is getting very close to this Deadeye here.
Oh, that aggressive Donnie has been painful, and they've got the explosion. There it goes.
Everything being used by S.C.A.D here, and Boise State is just sent scrambling.
Sure is. They know that this full push is going to be what prevents that, that breaking the time.
Well, Maxwell able to pick one from Lilith, but Donnie being too much of a threat right now. Maxwell can't get away. I don't think he can keep this going. At this point, he's just staggering. He throws out the pulse bomb, but you're not going to turn around the fight with just one pulse bomb. He goes down, and that's really unfortunate there. I think he just kind of got tunnel vision.
Yeah, it happens. Kills are fun, but win con is key. Is no way Maxwell can hold up that long with.
I mean, Tracer only has 150 health. One of the lowest heroes in the game.
Very nice and squishy.
You can't turn it around with just. Oh, that's another great Deadeye from Lilith taking out Matt, and Boise State staggered out again when they can least afford it.
Almost the fastest team kill we've seen today.
Okay, but it does look like Kella and Maxwell, at least there, are going to die quickly, which sometimes that's what you need to do.
Yep. If you can't run back for the taxi, then you just got to teleport back.
Boise State now having charged up just a little bit here. They're going to have Bob available as well to predict Flux. There's more than S.C.A.D has.
And the amp.
Dynamite thrown out, just trying to mow down their shields. They throw down the amp in that vantage point. There's going to be so much damage placed onto the Broncos, and the accretion already picks up one. Pulse bomb thrown out by Alone gets rid of Plato and Matt, and I think that might just be the final nail in the coffin for the Broncos here on Rialto.
S.C.A.D even pushing an uphill battle against 3 ults trapped in that closet, that they're still able to get off enough kills that they kind of just sweep it.
Yeah, at this point, man, it's such a tall favor for the Broncos. I'd personally just hop in one of those gondolas and sail away for another day, because this is.
Oh, Donnie, the aggression. Nerf this indeed.
Oh, man.
And Lilith with the reply.
It could not have gone worse. It could not have gone worse.
If this was Dive, I know who they'd be going for.
Yeah, okay, yeah, let's just, okay, they took this one. This is, oh, that was ugly. Boise State trying to get to the point here. Well, that's going to well and do it, I think, for S.C.A.D. Now Boise State just has to trickle on one at a time. Never the situation you want to be in. The Deadeye already eliminates Plato. Maxwell also taken out by their Widow. Lilith doing work as the Cassidy. Triple is going to end it for the Broncos. Final team kill, and that does it. Boise State ends on Rialto, losing it. And Esports Tower is one of the sponsors of Boise State Esports. You can improve your game sense, improve your team play, and improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched up with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. So now as we're ready to head into the next stage, Boise State facing a very tall ask here. They're going to be all tied up, one apiece in this best of 5, though they got their work cut out for them now.
They do. A tall order indeed. I hope that we've been saving the best for last with that control map.
Well, we'll just have to see how it works out. We'll take a short break and be back with more Overwatch action, so you're not going to want to miss it. We'll be back after these messages.
NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Here are a couple lessons I've learned over the years. Friendships come in all shapes and sizes. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Welcome back to the Boise State Game Pants eSports Arena. You're currently watching our coverage of the ECAC Collegiate Overwatch. Boise State heading up against S.C.A.D in this Overwatch match. The Savannah College of Art and Design. These are two of the top teams in the ECAC. And Boise State is now finding that they're going to have a bit of a challenge for them. We've seen both these teams get a win so far, so it's pretty even between them. We're not going to jump ahead just a little bit in the timeline since we kind of joined the teams halfway through the match, just the nature of live events. So now we're going to be moving on to hybrid right now to see which of these teams ultimately gets the victory here, the deciding stage, if you will.
Let's get into it. First.
Yeah, Kings Row is one that we have seen a lot, a very common map, and it's one that both basically every team scrims on, so everyone knows how to play it, but the good news is you know how to play it. The bad news is your opponents know how to play it as well.
That's very true. That's how it is on popular maps.
All right, we're just about ready to head in right now. Once again, this is Boise State versus S.C.A.D, the Savannah College of Art and Design, one of the top teams in ECAC Overwatch, and Boise State is looking to get a victory here because they desperately need one after a very tough loss on Rialto. We're ready to head in here. It's going to be interesting to see who's attacking, who's defending first. And overall, just to kind of give an idea of how things have shaped up right now. Again, we jumped ahead a little bit in this match. S.C.A.D won the fight on Control, I believe, one of the Control maps. So that means that Boise State is going to have to win here if they want to keep playing.
Yep, if they want to push us to a 5th game on Capture.
All right, let's see how it works out. S.C.A.D's going to be attacking first. Actually see a bit of a swap there. Lilith is not going to be on the Cassidy like we've seen all tonight. Instead, it's going to be alone. Goblin also bringing out the Cassidy, but in standard Kings Row fashion, we see 2 Mays for each team, the standard wall and maul, so it's going to be dependent on where those walls are placed. And Snape already getting a pick onto Matt Merck, Plato falling soon afterwards. Alone picking up the pieces onto Kellen in just one clear fight. S.C.A.D is on their way.
Forcing Donnie out of that shell, and I do like Alone on the Cassidy. Honestly, Alone was doing really well last turn.
Just the way everything works out, that Spawn is so far away from the payload. Once you lose one, you lose it all the way unless Boise State can recontest here. I don't think they can, though, because Chosen got staggered out. That really seems to be something that's really plaguing the Broncos so far, is that they keep getting staggered. There seems like to be one team member out of position, and S.C.A.D just punishes that. And being out of position, that's a great wall. It's going to catch off their Reinhardt off guard, allow Boise State to pick him off. So S.C.A.D is going to be starting this one down. Snape throws out the amplification matrix.
Ooh, taking out Lilith and getting some damage on Adani is big, but they are still really walled up here. That wall and maul is happening.
There's a self-destruct thrown out by Donnie. Boise State. He gets a kill with the Remac onto Kel, showing him who's the better diva there. Once again, the College of Art and Design wins yet another team fight. They're going to get more payload push now. Alrighty, S.C.A.D has more ultimates available to them. Now going to be bringing on the Deadeye and the Earth Shatter. But Boise State basically has everything available to them as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how well they manage their ultimates. Immediately that Deadeye is going to get canceled out by that May wall that's been thrown out. They get stunned by the Shatter, though. That's a huge one for S.C.A.D. They only had really 1-2 ultimates to use, but they used them effectively much better. And Boise State Plato panic ults on the Blizzard. That's going to do. Kel, what are you doing? Do you think you can turn this around with just the self-destruct? You're not going to do it. The fight's already lost, and every ultimate except for the sound barrier wasted.
A real shame there. We have been having some serious difficulty with having full commit or trying to go for the flank, or having one person offside and not being able to fight together, win together, or lose together.
I'm sorry. I know I got up to get a bit more ticked off there than normal, but look, Boise State set up everything for them. I thought I was on Twitter with all the blue check marks they had, but it didn't work out for them because they used them all just one at a time when Savannah College of Art and Design uses theirs proactively, like this Blizzard here, which freezes Goblin. He's only going to be kept alive by the Immortality Field as Johnny throws out their self-destruct, not going to pick anyone up. Boise State actually has a few picks themselves here, so they're up one in this engagement, but S.C.A.D has a lot of time to kind of just reset here if they want to. Plato eliminating Donnie out of their mech. Donnie picked up.
Ooh, trying to go back at it again with the Deadeye, but that wall is always on point.
Yeah, the wall's really good for S.C.A.D so far. Amp Matrix thrown down by them, as well as the Shatter, and fortunately the camera angle was kind of at a wrong position there, so we didn't see how well that Shatter was, but I would imagine it's good because the eliminations are flowing now, so Boise State must have gotten really caught up in that.
Goblin just a little bit behind on that mouse positioning, bringing us to... Oh, he's back in the game now, though, and looking to switch. Our comp is going through a little bit of a rotation here.
The Blizzard not even on the point itself, and S.C.A.D has that payload being pushed at basically its full speed, but Goblin with a last-minute kind of desperation pick onto the Bastion. That's going to be clutch there, so kind of catches S.C.A.D off guard, but the thing about a Bastion is once your team knows it's there, they can definitely play to it, so he's going to swap over to the Hanzo, just kind of do the one trick.
Let's see how it pays off. That payload receding nice and slow as we hold on to it. Oh, never mind.
And the Deadeye doesn't pick up anybody. He takes a lot of damage for using it, though. Oh my goodness, a boop to Goblin is going to take him out. S.C.A.D has the advantage here. They're also going to use the sound barrier to keep themselves alive. He throws out another Shatter. Of course, again, I can't see how good that Shatter was, but that's a good self-destruct as well. It clears out the point entirely, and Boise State looking at a 3-minute overtime if they even get all 3 points. And see, thank you, production, for using this particular replay and making me relive the nightmare of Boise State blowing all of their ultimates. Because look at this, the fight's already lost. Okay, and they took my advice. They're like, we don't even want to see the rest of that because that just didn't turn out well at all.
The only thing worse than staggering your players is staggering their ultimates.
I mean, you have to remember, you need to know when team fights are lost. Pressing Q does not turn the fight around automatically. I know we all love seeing those plays where it completely wipes the other team, but it's a game ultimately where you're tracking the advantage your team has. And if you're using your ultimates to try to hero play when you're already down 3 team members, it's just hard math. It's not going to work out in your favor.
Yep. And I like how you said, well, and if you look at this, the reverse sweeps are always fun to see, but it feels like when we keep trying for that, we're just Sisyphus pushing the rock up the hill.
I mean, what did I say in Rialto? Yep. You have to know when to die and die quickly.
Let's see what kind of team comp we've got ourselves into. We'll take a sneak peek back here in the player select.
Boise State is going to have their work cut out for them. They're going to still go with that very brawly composition, Orion Diva composition. We actually see a Widow being brought out. That's usually brought out just trying to get an initial pick here like that. Lucio would be good pickings if he can get him. If the accuracy is good enough, this Goblin going to, no, he doesn't even manage to get the pick there, so it's immediately going to swap off. It's just something you use initially at the beginning trying to get a pick and then move over to something that fits your brawly team comp a little bit more. Now Boise State is going to have to watch out for, that's a great wall thrown down by them, but they get frozen in place. Matt is still able to take out their Reinhardt, and Lilith also falls, so Boise State, just as fast as S.C.A.D did, is going to take the point. That's a great start for the Broncos.
Excellently played. I feel like Broncos' defense tonight has been pretty solid, but when they have to push in, they just don't know when to die.
Alrighty.
Second point, and like you said, that spawn is just so far down the hallway.
Yep. I mean, they can't recontest there.
All 3 ticks in the first point as we start to move the payload down the halls. And here is the first pinch. Let's see if we get the same Maywall and Brawl. Not a lot of ult charge come from S.C.A.D, maybe. But it looks like Boise State has the upper hand as we move into this.
And now they're going to have to go through the ultimate of choke points here. Oh. This very nasty. Oh, and there it is. Spago gets split off from the rest of his team. There, Reinhardt with Flame Strike is going to eliminate Chosen. I don't think Boise State can turn it around. Unfortunately, again! Oh. Again, he uses the Shatter when the fight is already lost. Oh, Boise State, you're hurting me here. You're just really, oh my goodness. Goblin, you better not use that Deadeye. I will get mad. I will track you down and give you a stern scolding if you used that Deadeye right there. He's not going to, though, so good. That's one. Oh, they almost walked right into that Shatter, though.
Using the Matrix, try to get some shots off from Goblin.
Boise State still is making room for themselves, though. They're getting a good amount of payload push right now. All of them are on the payload right now. And okay, we're going to see 2 High Noons dueling, and kind of in a cinematic Cassidy duel. Yeah. Goblin's going to be the one to win. Their heads out of self-destruct. Oh, Boise State isn't going to fall to that one. There goes an Amp Matrix thrown down by Snape. The one thing I have to mention, though, is the Amp Matrix. I don't fault S.C.A.D for using it right there, even though the fight was kind of lost for them. That's the only thing, because some ultimates charge up so quickly that you just kind of use them as their own cooldown. And the Amp Matrix charges up almost every fight. Huge Shatter from Matt Merck. Going to take out Lilith. Also, shout out to Kel by eating the Blizzard thrown out by Lilith with the defensive Matrix. So canceling that ult. Uh-oh. Look out for Alone here. Going to try to be taking out Bagel, though. Boise State looks like they haven't quite dealt with him yet, and he continues doing damage, actually, eliminating Goblin as Chosen throws out his Amp Matrix. Boise State almost to that checkpoint here.
Baby Diva looking to get that health back up.
I mean, already halfway there to remeching, so good job by Kel on staying alive there.
Well done, yeah.
He got, oh, as soon as he charges it up, he gets, oh, that's,
the divine tragedy right there.
Yep.
Bagel on the hunt on Donnie. Doesn't quite catch it, but it's getting close. Chiz just barely hanging on by that ice, and it doesn't make it. Lilith out alone down as well. Looks like we might be able to roll this over and take us into point 3. Getting real close here, just cleaning up the field. Donnie surrendering.
Oh, and a team wipe for Boise State.
Excellently played.
It's going to be a while since the ace has been gotten for Boise State, but they find a way to do it.
And look at that ult charge difference.
Yeah, Matt, Mark, and Cal. If Matt can use the shatter effectively, he's just going to be able to start it out. And that's a huge shatter by Boise State. They get all of them, and Goblin follows it out by taking out Lilith. But Matt is eliminated by Donnie. Can Boise State recover from that? They have managed to take out their Reinhardt. They're only going to have a 1 advantage. There's another, but it's traded by their Lucio. But Cal gets the advantage back for Boise State. They have managed to just barely keep this fight going. And S.C.A.D is going to have to reset again. Overall, more push for Boise State, and that's what they need.
It's nice to see that when they actually count to 3 and stack those abilities, use both those ults in the right way, nice and aggressive, it gave them the leg up that they needed to hold.
Yeah, that's what happens when you save your ultimates and coordinate them rather than just panic using them. Funny how that works.
All about coordination on this, you know, 5v5 here, 6v6 here.
See, this is the time when you would save it, because you're waiting for your other teammates to be online there. But oh, that's a bad stagger.
Right,
that's going to burn more time away for Boise State.
That is tragic, but they step back a little bit, make sure that they can still get that last person up.
All right, Bagel now respawns here, but Boise State is going to pay for that in terms of time.
Sure will, but they've got the time. If they are steady with this, then they put us into overtime at not a bad time difference. Let's see what they can take.
Whoa, that shatter! Look at that onto Chosen and Plato. They walked right into that one.
Beyond tragic. Bagel better get back for the taxi.
Well, okay, that's another reset there, and unfortunately, things have now changed in terms of the ultimates.
They have. Plato has a nice blizzard, but it is going to be replied by another blizzard, the Amp Matrix and Tunny's ever dangerous mech explosion there. See how they play against it. Plato moving.
Oh! Both blizzards get eaten by the defensive Matrix!
Tragic.
Oh, Matt doing good with his own shatter there. S.C.A.D throws out their self-destruct, but at the time they threw it out, the rest of their team was already gone. So now what I was talking to you about that I've been kind of chastising the Broncos so much for is going to be brought over to S.C.A.D right now. Unfortunately, the Broncos S.C.A.D still found a way to keep Boise State at bay. I'm shocked.
We did see a little bit of the scatter from Boise State as Bagel died, and then Plato kills holding on. It looks like they're regrouping now and able to push
Oh,
back.
they do not have time. They do not have time to be stalled like this.
Nope.
We'll see how Chosen can do. He's going to have the Amp Matrix, probably drop it down. Oh, there goes Cal. We're just going to have to see. What is that? Is that a quadruple Deadeye into a team kill? Alone. Wow. Cassidy of the year. S.C.A.D, well, okay,
and that was alone. That was
alone, doing it alone, just like their gamer tag suggests, just taking out the entire other team alone.
When we had no time to begin with. Now 55 seconds to make the 66 meters and take the point. It's got to be some real clutch overtime, but I just don't see it happen.
I just, at this point, with a play like that, we're Boise State's casters, but S.C.A.D, GG, you deserve to win this one. After that, you just look at that. I mean, another team wipe for Boise State. They're going to have one more chance here, but you got, and in production, if you don't put that in as the #1 play of the game, a quad Deadeye, are you kidding me for how insane S.C.A.D is doing right now in this final area of the map? They're going to have one more chance. Boys, the Broncos are to take it. They're going to throw out all their ultimates. 2 blizzards thrown out. Lilith is eaten by Cal. That's going to get rid of their immortality field, but overall ultimates traded back and forth. Maybe one last chance for the Broncos to take. I don't think so. Nope. That's going to do it. Alone wraps it all up. Only Bagel is left to try to red Lucio the point. Not going to work out this time. S.C.A.D proving why they were one of the top teams in the nation. They win it.
I think coordination was the name of the game there. I'm sure mics were hot at S.C.A.D's end.
Yeah. And Boise State just had too many opportunities where they just, I think there's just too much panic ultimate there. I think S.C.A.D definitely, I can't speak directly as to the headspace of the Broncos, but it did seem S.C.A.D was just kind of forcing their hand a lot more often than the Broncos normally did. And so Broncos were playing too reactively, not proactively, so that's ultimately going to do it for you. S.C.A.D winning that on Kings Row. And
3-1.
What an insane play.
Really was.
Well, if you're wondering how to join the Broncos and maybe might give him a little help after, maybe join them to give him a little moral support after a defeat like that. But we have openings in all of the games that we have: Overwatch, Rocket League, Valorant. We just play a lot. Madden and Halo as well. Top talent along with good grades and eligibility can improve your chances as well. To find out how you can join the Broncos, go to boisestate.edu/esports for more information. Now it's the time that we normally call out a player of the game, but listen, I mean, they could just give it to Alone, and I'd be fine.
Alone or Lilith.
Alone or Lilith. I mean, both of them were insane on Cassidy.
They were, but it's about the good-looking plays as well too, and I know that DPS gets a lot of
okay,
those.
But no. Okay, look, a Deadeye, you're happy if you just get one pick normally when a Deadeye is used, but a quadruple? Are you kidding me?
Let's see who it was.
It's actually going to head over to Plato, who is a great DPS in his own right.
And talking about value, Plato did a great job this team. Those Maywalls were critical and got a lot of good kills out there.
He is going to be the ICCU player of the game, brought to you by Idaho Central Credit Union, who believes a great player makes a team more successful, just like Idaho Central's helping members achieve a financial success. Plato is your ICCU player of the game. Yeah, he did have some clutch moments like this Blizzard here, and this was just kind of one of those scrappy, knock down, drag him out type of fights. Well, actually, that was a clear team fight, although I got to say, this was a great moment for Boise State. They managed to take the whole point in one go here, and Plato was such a great player that later in this fight, he charged up the Death Blossom again. So this was a real long fight, and I got to give the Broncos huge credit for winning there. But ultimately, S.C.A.D, what a team to go up against.
Yeah. No, we did well on Anubis, and Plato definitely had some excellent time there getting to solo ult onto some people with that Death Blossom.
Well, that's going to do it for this match, and we'll leave you with the top 5 plays of the game, brought to you by the Idaho Army National Guard, who invites you to take your impressive critical thinking skills into real time. More than 10 jobs offering a $20,000 bonus and your degree of choice paid for. Idaho Army National Guard is one of the best teams to join out there. Reach out to them on Twitch at iGuard Gaming. Enjoy your top 5 plays of the game. Respawns here, but Boise State is going to play and pay for that in terms of time.
Sure will, but they've got the time. If they are steady with this, then they put us into overtime at not a bad time difference. Let's see what they can take.
Whoa, that shatter! Look at that! Ronda Chosen and Plato! They walked right into that one!
Beyond tragic. Bagel better get done. Yeah.
He got, as soon as he charges it up, he gets, that's...
the divine tragedy right there.
Yep.
Bagel on the hunt on Donnie. Doesn't quite catch it, but it's getting close. Chiz just barely hanging on by that ice, and it doesn't make it. Lilith out alone, down as well. Looks like we might be able to roll this over and take us into the
points by S.C.A.D here, and Boise State is just sent scrambling.
Sure is. They know that this full push is going to be what prevents that, that breaking the time.
Well, Maxwell able to pick one from Lilith, but Donnie being too much of a threat right now. Maxwell can't get away. I don't think he can keep this going. At this point, he's just staggered.
Trapped in that closet, if they're still able to get off enough kills that they kind of just sweep it.
Yeah, at this point, it's such a tall favor for the Broncos. I'd personally just hop in one of those gondolas and sail away for another day, because this is...
Oh, Johnny, the aggression.
Oh,
nerf this indeed.
They do not have time to be stalled like this.
Nope.
We'll see how Chosen can do. He's going to have the Amp Matrix, probably drop it down. Oh, there goes Kel. We're just going to have to see. What is that? Is that a quadruple Deadeye into a team kill?
Unreal.
Alone.